Welcome back to another episode of What You Can Learn From My Mistakes. Today we're gonna take a look at the druid sidenode build that I released quite a while ago, the build guide to this. And today we want to look especially at my rotations, but not only that, but also at my gameplay and of course always in the context how we can improve from this. Also what my teammates did wrong, how I could have reacted to their mistakes, what they did well, all of that in one video. I'm Selma, and without much further ado, let's jump right in. So you can see we have in this match a really weird team. So we have a Guardian, a Core Guardian, we have a Tempest, we have a Untamed, probably also sidenoding build. So not the perfect setup to run another sidenoder. And in the enemy team we have a Core Thief, we have a Reaper, Soul Beast, which is not power, as it turns out, and we have a Catalyst and a Core Guardian. So it's a really weird match, a lot of weird classes here, but let's see how we do in this match. So of course, you are a sidenoding build. You can push in a team fight, but it's way better if you can do in a one-on-one or outnumbered situation, just because you are quite durable. And I just want to go and keep close point, see if we get an enemy approaching. But I would say it's on this map, it takes quite some time to get here, so it's quite unlikely that someone comes most of the time, in time at least. So now I make my way to mid, just to make sure that my team is winning the fight. But before I get there, so no way to change this, my team already lost the Elementalist, which is apparently not the best player, so you have to be a little bit aware of this. I now was thinking about going far, but I decided against it because my team is already winning mid, so I can get some let's say attention to me, while the enemy thief got the decap on our close point, so not that worth. Here I get some really nice attention of 3 people on me, and I sustain. Really good. I get some help from our support guard apparently, and we get a counter kill. So that was worth to go mid here and counter a bit. We have to be a bit careful that we get the rally here. We get it, and I just spam my attacks because I'm really healthy, and now I decide to go far because we are in an outnumbered situation. I get followed by a Dagger Elementalist. Yes, I think so. And here I get some nice kiting, back healing up, and I want to pressure the point, but I get another enemy player on me. So here I have 2 people on me and my teammate is helping me, which is not the best rotation, but let's see how it turns out, because they have the point and we are in a 2v2 here. It's not good. Would have been much better if it's neutral, or if we could. And here I get the neutralize, so it's worth it in this point. But if I didn't get it, it would be bad because we fight on the enemy capped node and we are in an even fight, so it's not likely to resolve that fast. I get some attention, I can tank them quite easily, I have a lot of lifesteal, and I can salvage the situation a bit. My teammate now engages as well, we focus the Catalyst, I re-heal a bit. All my skills also in Celestial Lava to do some conditions, so be aware, really good. So we deal not that much damage to them, but we are on a neutral point. Now we get actually enough burst to pressure the Guardian, quite interesting. And we focus the Elementalist here, just so that I get the kill on the Guardian, perfect. And now we want the 2v2 here. I heal my teammate a bit, and we get the Elementalist as well. Perfect. And now I'm in a good spot because I'm on far point and have the situation that we can either decide to stay here and contest it, or go mid if the enemy team pushes mid. Here I want to go and, let's say, waste the enemy support's time and intercept them. We lose the map, which is a little bit sad, but I have again 2 people on me. You can see that's really nice. And we still hold the far cap. We have to be careful to not get decapped by the enemy thief. And we now have here 3v3. So we have our elementalists, our ranger, our reaper, so it's actually a 4v3. We have the enemy guardian, and it's actually not a good situation to be in because we fight off point. They got the sword, and we have a, let's say, weird spot because we will get decapped if we stay here, because I can't move that fast to the point. So I want to go back to the point. My team will win the fight because they're outnumbering here, but we lose 2 cap for this, and the enemy thief actually pushes in me, which is interesting. Not the rotation I would have made with 3 people here, but the thief tries to decap, but will for sure go down now. And I get some healing and disengage because we're here in a 2v2. Was the wrong decision apparently, because my team actually lost both fights, so I'm not sure where I should have moved. I saw that my team was losing the mid fight, so I wanted to help them, but then I made the wrong decision to move, because apparently my fight that I was currently in is also a losing fight. All because of the sword buff apparently. We can peel our support a bit here, but then I decide to go for the decap. And I try to draw some attention of the enemies here. But then I see that my ranger also goes close, so I abandon the mission and go contest mid again. I am now against the support guard and the enemy necromancer, which is okay in this situation because the support doesn't provide that much value. I just have to be careful to not die from the damage of the necromancer. I dodge here very nicely with the 3 of the sword, the Reaper Shroud 5, get some nice healing back, and I'm now against 3 people and will probably die here. That's why I move on point to just be cleaved or killed, stomped in this situation. At this point we are behind. I died, which is not good. Of course, as a side note build, you don't want to die at all if you can manage it. And now I have to think, okay, my team is contesting mid and close. I'm not sure if the elementalist will get the close contest. No, not in time, so it's a neutral point. We don't get any points now, so we're in a really bad spot. Now I have to decide, do I push into the mid fight? I decide against it. I go far, just to make sure that we slow the enemy's point gain down. And we are in a bad spot to fight anyways, because they have shield buff. We don't have any buffs, so they are much tankier and much more unlikely to get killed by us because they have the revive of the shield. Get the decap actually. My necromancer is pushing here and actually gets a kill on the enemy necromancer, I think. I think he pushes on the elementalist and we get a kill on mid, which is quite nice because we were actually in an even fight because the thief again decided to go for sword. Was the wrong decision in this moment because we get a kill on the midpoint. We get the cap, I push into mid again. Just make sure that I don't get any decaps again from the respawns. And at this point we are in an, let's say, uneven fight because they have the sword buff. I get a lot of damage on me, but I get some nice healing from myself and the support guard. And here we should have gone for the decap, but I tried to counter clear damage. Thief is again trying to deal damage on me, but it's not very effective. I can actually resustain myself here really nicely, and we actually get some counter pressure on the thief. We just want the decap here to make it a valuable fight because we are in a 2v4 actually. My team is fully committing on the close point on the enemy ranger. Not that good of a idea, but yeah, fine. I now decide to contest the midpoint against 3 people. It's a risky move, but you have to do something if you're behind that much. We actually get a kill. They get a kill on our guardian in a 2v3, so they win the 2v3 while I'm here in a 2v3 as well, just holding it. Now we are in a 2v2 at this point now, and this is not, let's say, really good for me because we are on a cap point. We are in a 2v2. It's not a situation where you want to be. But if I leave here, I will not be in time to get the contest on the far point. If I stay, we have the chance of killing one because we have now outnumbered situation for our team. And that's exactly what we do. We get really nice pressure, we get the decap, and now we are in a better spot, which I see, and I instantly go far just to make sure that I get value and not be in team fights permanently, because that's not where you want to be with this build. It's good because you have some healing and some really crazy glyph res action as well, but you want to be in a more one-on-one situation. So this is the condition Soul Beast I talked about. My Reaper now decides to outnumber me. Okay, fine, I guess. Now our Ranger should go for the decap. And at this point we are 120 points behind. And I decide to +1 the Soul Beast. Seems quite pressured. We are now having a 101 on far point. I decide to go mid to help my team. But I should also think about going close, just to make sure that we get the decap there, because they are approaching 500 way too fast for my taste. We actually get the kill on the thief. We now can let it bleed. Have to be careful to not get the decap. And here I decide to let it bleed for the most time, because that's the thing that is probably killing our team the most, the thief. And here I decide to let them bleed on our point, so we get points, they lose value. I don't have any value either, because I just stand there to not get decapped, but it's fine in this situation because we are outnumbering the map. We are in an, let's say, bad fight, because our Elementalist is running to mid of, even though there is no fight, so I now decide to go for the decap. Our Elementalist is really throwing this game, because there was no fight and they rotated not too close but to mid. Okay, so now I get the decap here, and then I decide to leave, because I don't want to be the one that caps the node. I just want to be sure that we don't get outnumbered and killed on the other side of the map. I'm again against one player, and let's say it's a 2v2 here, and I try to force the node a bit, and no one is actually contesting me. I make now the decision to not get the cap, but to go close, because if I get the cap here and the enemy gets the cap, they get more value from it, because they have only 65 points to go at this point. And now I make the decision to go to our close and contest the point, just to make sure that we slow down the point gain of the enemy team. And I know I can win this 101, because I have a really strong 101 build. And this is some kind of condition Soul Beast. I have to be really careful here to get the decap. I really have to force the decap here, because if they can hold it for long enough, even if they die after that, we will lose. Just because the points tick so much. I now can force the decap, and now I'm in the situation that I can chase it, because I probably don't get the cap anyway. So I will just want to chase it here, make sure that I get value from fighting. They get actually some resustain here, and I can't chase them, which is fine, but we get the midpoint and we are contesting the far point. So at this point we are in a situation that looks like a comeback. Let's see if we can hold it. I'm here in a 1-1-1, which is worth it. Now we get outnumbered, which is not good. I decide to go for the cap, and I also see that we get the Necromancer here, which is fine. And another player from our team. So we are quite heavily invested in our close node here. But we will actually get the kill here. I now decide to leave again, go for the midpoint to make sure that we get some more point gain, because they are actually capping it. So if they get it, we have a problem. The thief is actually crazy and gets the point cap, but we try to decap as soon as we get, let's say the thief is not in the dodge animation anymore. We get the decap. And they just got maybe 10 points from that, so that's okay. We get a kill on the other side of the map. And at this point we are actually really making a comeback. I again make the decision to not go for the cap, but to contest, to make sure that we getting kills and don't get snowballed just because of me getting caps that we can't hold. An outnumbered situation. I'm here in a 2v2 now. Yeah, with the Guardian coming in. I try to dodge and kite as much as I can. We get bursted here quite hard because the Necromancer used everything on me. The guard comes in, tries to hand rest, will not get it because we get too much cleave, but then decides to go for the signet, gets the signet, and we are back in the game. Really good rotation from the Guardian here, just to make sure that I don't die. And I here committed all my skills to make sure that we can contest the point, because if we get the decap or can get the neutralization and hold it, we are sure that we can get value from our 2-point ticking, and with only 1:45 seconds on the clock, we can now win the match actually. Timer is not relevant if we get a 2 cap. We get decapped on our close point here. We have now won the mid fight to some extent. The far fight is always continuing, but apparently we are actually doing well there. So now I decide to go close to contest it, to make sure that we deny the enemy team any points. And also we just want to get the cap on midpoint, because if we tick and they don't, we actually have value from it. I saw that I'm too late, get now engaged in a 1v2, try to play as defensive as I can. On the glance, heal, hide up here to get not hit by the ranged attacks of the thief. Thief again engages on me. Just have to make sure to not die, because we actually got the far cap and the midpoint. And if we are at this current rate holding the caps and I'm not dying, we actually win the match, because we get double the points in the same amount of time, which is enough to win this match even with only 1 minute left on the clock. I kite as much as I can. We actually get a kill here almost on the Necromancer, and we get the decap, and at this point we are finally in the lead after almost 10 minutes of being behind. And we made a comeback in this team, with this team, and I think we played it in the end quite good. There was a lot of mistakes from my part, but I think it was a really fun match to watch, just to see that you never should surrender. You should never surrender, really good. And that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more commentary like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.